Canada is furious at Donald Trump and his despicable regime for the trade war that has been launched against Canada, but Canada recognizes that right now it is at war against the United States, and Canada will not bend, Canada will not break, and Canada will win this war against the United States. Prime Minister Carney earlier today declaring, "We are at war against Donald Trump, his despicable regime, and what he has turned the United States into." And now we have heard from the various premiers of the different provinces in Canada, and they've made it very clear just how united Canada is right now to defeat Donald Trump and his despicable regime in this war. We're hearing from the Canadian people who support Prime Minister Carney walking away from not just a bad deal that Donald Trump was trying to trap Canada in, but a deal that was intended to attack the core of Canada's sovereignty. So we're hearing from premiers like Wab Kinew of Manitoba. We're hearing from premiers like David Eby of British Columbia. We're hearing from premiers like Doug Ford of Ontario. You have Doug Ford, a conservative. You have Wab Kinew and you have David Eby, who are NDP leaders. You have, of course, Prime Minister Carney, Liberal Party leader. So let's just go through what's going on as Canada stands united to knock out the United States. Let me show you what's going down. Premier Wab Kinew says history will not be kind to Donald Trump, so we should never appease him, not even the slightest. Let's play this clip.
History will not be kind to Donald Trump, so we should never appease him. And we should fight back, which is what Canada is doing today. We can fight back against Donald Trump by buying from Canadian businesses, by supporting Canadian workers, and most importantly, by living up to our Canadian values. I can tell you right now that Team Canada is 100% united behind what the Prime Minister announced earlier today.
More from Premier Wab Kinew right here, saying even the MAGA hat-wearing American crowd should realize Trump doesn't care about you. Play this clip.
So that we can see a change from the American people who hopefully by now see that Donald Trump is the worst thing that's ever happened to your pocketbook in history. Gas prices are higher than ever because of the war in Iran. Prices at the grocery store are higher than ever because of his domestic policies. And now he continues to add to your cost of living woes by bringing in more tariffs, which is a tax on you. It's a tax on you as the American people. So again, I think everybody knows he's not trustworthy. He broke his promise on egg prices a long time ago, and now he continues to undermine any credibility that he had on the cost of living. And the worst part about it, even like the MAGA hat wearing American crowd should realize, is that he doesn't care. He's out there talking about like let them eat cake type of comments. He's not in touch. He doesn't care about the American people and the cost of living. He only cares about making his family richer. And so that's why I'm confident that in the medium term, we'll be able to get the American people back on side. Because Americans, obviously, we got a little friendly rivalry all the time between our two countries, but I'm sure Americans will see through the nonsense that we're seeing from their administration right now.
Premier Kinew had a message to Canadians. Here's what he had to say. Play this clip.
We're fighting for you. Donald Trump wants to take away steel. He wants to take away manufacturing jobs from our country, and we won't let him. And so we're going to continue to stand up for our country. We're going to stand up because we know that the red maple leaf is stronger than that guy with the red hat down south.
More from Premier Kinew right here, saying, yes, Donald Trump has changed the world, but he hasn't changed us. And we know that he won't be there forever. So let's reflect on what we need to do now, but also what we need to do tomorrow. Play this clip.
Donald Trump has certainly changed the world, but he hasn't changed us. And we also know that Donald Trump won't be there forever. So let's continue extending that hand of friendship to the American people, and hopefully they will have Donald Trump and his folks see the door very quickly, and we could get back to better times with our neighbors to the south.
Premier Kinew then talked about how we all have Prime Minister Carney's back. Let's play it.
Everybody's got Prime Minister Carney's back today. We're all united, and we're also united in our disappointment in the American administration. American people are good people, but right now they're being led by some misguided people.
Premier Canoe on Canada's trade team. Let's play it.
Well, I appreciate the federal officials for the outreach and keeping our team in the loop. And I got their back 100%. I think they did the right thing by walking away. I think all Canadians are united in the pride that we feel for our country and the disappointment we feel for Donald Trump and his administration. But we also know that the American people will come through this and will come back to being good trading partners in the future.
More from Premier Canoe right here, saying that I'm sure that Donald Trump and his despicable regime will want to get back to the table and they'll want to talk more with us, but we need to recognize that these are a bunch of damn predators. And they're going to always come back and come back for more. And you can't do a deal with these people. You can't do a deal with bad people, as he said before. Here, play this clip.
I'm sure there is a desire to get back to the table, but we should recognize that the Trump administration and the president are deeply flawed. He's got 2 more years left in office. We should be prepared to duke it out for 2 years. And then hopefully sanity will return to America.
More from Premier Canoe right here, talking about how the government of Manitoba is 100% behind the Prime Minister's decision to not just walk away from the trade discussions with the Trump regime, but to retaliate with force. Play this clip.
Well, I appreciate the federal officials for the outreach and keeping our team in the loop. And I got their back 100%. I think they did the right thing by walking away. I think all Canadians are united in the pride that we feel for our country and the disappointment we feel for Donald Trump and his administration. But we also know that the American people will come through this and will come back to being good trading partners in the future.
Then we heard from Premier David Eby of British Columbia. Here's where he talks about Americans take us for granted, and now they will learn the hard way that they shouldn't. Let's play this clip.
As I said before, every tool is on the table for British Columbia. We are fully supportive of the federal government's effort to identify sectors that will bring to the attention of the Americans the importance of our trade relationship and how it benefits all of us. Because the Americans, to put it politely, are taking us for granted. And they don't clearly understand how significant and entrenched our relationship is and how much they benefit from it. I'm full speed ahead in terms of how can British Columbia help? How can we pitch into this federal effort across the country to get the Americans' attention as they levy 50% tariffs on sectors in Canada that will cost jobs here and will cost Americans more money at the end of the day? And critical minerals are certainly part of that. We can't have a country that wants increased security and stability for themselves while creating instability and uncertainty in British Columbia and Canada.
More from Eby right here, the Premier of British Columbia, talks about how our relationship with the United States will never go back to what it was. This behavior is unforgivable right now. Let's play this clip.
My hope is, that with a change in administration, or a change in approach from this administration following the electoral impacts that they're seeing currently, that we'll be able to get to a place of stability. But I think the idea that our relationship with the United States is going to go back to what it was is folly. It has changed. It will not go back. And as a result, we have to do the uncomfortable but necessary work of reaching out and increasing our trade diversification around the world to ensure that we will not be held hostage in the way that the president is trying to right now by the fact that we've been willing to integrate with the American economy to the extent that we did.
More from Premier Eby saying that the suggestion by the Trump regime that Canada should not trade with other nations, that was one of the last ways the Trump regime tried to change the deal at the last minute, these last minute changes. The Trump regime was like, oh man, it looks like Canada's doing all these great deals with all these other countries and we can't do deals. So we want to put in our deal, Canada, that you can't do deals with other countries without our permission. And that was the final straw, where Prime Minister Carney is like, all right, negotiators, let's get back. Let's get back to Ottawa. Play this clip.
I think the recent developments in this negotiation, well, I hesitate to even call it that, with the president's team, by our hardworking team from the federal government, I think they really revealed the true nature of what the Americans are seeking from the White House in terms of their relationship with Canada. The suggestion that Canada would not trade with other countries or reduce our trade with other countries because the Americans tell us to, would reduce us to the economic equivalent of the 51st state. It was never acceptable to Canadians. And the Prime Minister and his team rightly walked away from any suggestion that we would agree to that.
More from David Eby right here, saying the idea that you think that you can simultaneously attack Canadians and then benefit from Canada, are y'all a bunch of like delusional morons? Here, play this clip.
Well, I just note the absurdity of the current U.S. position. You know, the ambassadors up here holding meetings with mining companies, trying to find secure supply chains for American business that will feed in the rare earth elements, the minerals and metals that they need to be able to produce their products to grow their economy. And doing that at the exact same time as the president is attacking key sectors of the Canadian economy and the British Columbia economy. The idea that you can simultaneously attack Canadians and also benefit from what's in Canada, which the rest of the world also wants, is an absurd one. It makes no sense, and it is reflective of this administration's entire approach to their relationship with Canada. They want to have all the benefits of a relationship with Canada, but they also, want to punish Canadian workers, to bully us, to tell us who we can trade with. It is the definition of an abusive relationship. They cannot have a positive relationship with Canada and benefit from what is in this country, while at the same time attacking us, running us down, and saying that they want to take us over. And so that contradiction is one that needs to be addressed in terms of the American administration, because from my perspective, in terms of Canada having what the world needs, we got lots of other dance partners out there. And we'll be doing a lot of work here in British Columbia. I know the federal government will, to be expanding our trade around the world. And the Americans can make up a decision about where they'd like to go, but that'll be without Canada, in my opinion.
Eby then says that British Columbians will stand strong with Canada. Let's play it.
I have shared with the Prime Minister my commitment to the national project that we are on behalf of British Columbians, that British Columbians will stand strong with Canada, that we will do our part, that we understand our advantages in terms of our geographic positioning, the resources we have, and our people, and that we will use this to the advantage of the entire country to ensure that we weather this moment.
And more from Eby right here, saying one of the things that is clear is that the U.S. treats Russian forest products better than Canadian products. And now you want us to put your U.S. liquor on our shelves? Like, are you out of your damn minds? Let's play this clip.
Products. Even Russian forest products have better access to the U.S. market right now than Canadian forest products. And in that environment, the idea that we would be seeking U.S. liquor is absurd.
Then we heard from Premier Doug Ford, the Conservative Premier of Ontario. Here's what he had to say. Play this clip.
And I've always said we need to fight these tariffs, tariff to tariff, dollar to dollar. And I'm glad he didn't sign that deal, because it was a bad deal. It was a bad deal for Ontario. It was a bad deal for the auto sector, the steel sector, and manufacturing sector. And we never started this fight, but I can assure you, we're going to win this fight. We're going to be a United Team Canada. We're going to use every single tool we have here in Ontario. And hopefully The rest of the premiers feel the same way. We have to use every tool in our toolbox to make sure, as Donald Trump is trying to inflict pain on every Canadian, that we inflict pain right back until he realizes that we're his number one customer in the world. And yes, they're our number one customer. But we have to make sure that we look at every single asset that we have, no matter if it's the critical minerals or if it's a steel or if it's a nickel, anything that we have here in Ontario, everything's on the table.
And more from Premier Ford right here as well. Let's play it.
And again, I'm going to give the Prime Minister credit one more time. It's very complicated, folks. And, you know, President Trump, he can't be trusted. Simple as that. He changes the deal. He keeps moving the goalpost. You know, let me tell you about President Trump. President Trump is the type of person that would steal your lunch money the first day. He'd steal the toque off your head the second day, and the third day he'd steal your running shoes. He is not to be trusted whatsoever. We need to stay united.
Folks, as I watch these videos with you, I reflect on just how united Canada is. In Canada, you have the premiers, by and large, fully united. You have the people, most importantly, united in this position. Do not do a bad deal. What would be worse than walking away is doing a bad deal. And you're seeing right now unity within Canada right now. And here in the United States, you're seeing the American people don't want what Donald Trump's doing. Even beyond, me and this network and, amongst just independents here, even Republican leaning people here are like, why, what are you doing? Why are you attacking Canada? Why are you saying these things about, it doesn't make any sense. You want to tariff Canada. It's a tax on American people. Why are we doing this? So here in the United States, what Trump is doing is deeply unpopular. You already have him involved in a deeply unpopular, catastrophic, and unlawful war with Netanyahu. You have gas prices, you have diesel prices hitting record highs. Heck, we have electricity prices hitting, energy prices here hitting an all-time high. The United States gets its majority of its energies, from in terms of imports, comes from Canada. So it's like, what in the hell is even going on here? And so you have a united Canada. You have the U.S. angry at the Trump regime for doing this. And that's where we are right now. And I think Canada knows they can win this war. They will win this war against Trump and his despicable regime. And here in the United States, we're looking at this guy running around, with golden ballrooms and whatever the hell he's doing. What the hell is this? Like, what is going on here? But let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thank you all so much for watching. Oh, go and get WTF America. That's the book I wrote with my brothers. Pre-order it now. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Breaking news right now, my brothers and I wrote a book. It's called WTF America. And well, doesn't that just say it all? It comes out officially this October, but you can pre-order your copy today. Just scan the QR code or click the link in the description below.